Hi Leo, welcome to your reading. This reading is about who is your future love partner for January, February 2019. Welcome. This channel is called The Witching Hour. My name is Michelle and I'm a witch. I have some white sage burning for us. The feeling I'm getting as I'm burning the sage is that your energy might feel just at the viewing of this reading that your fire is a little hard to light right now. And it's okay, because the feeling I'm getting is that you kind of went through a purging or a cleansing, a releasing, and it's tiring, almost like that feeling of when you feel gutted out, you know, that. Which is good. It's time for you to rest, is the feeling I'm getting, and let the spiritual cleansing and healing begin, and kind of soak in it for a while. You know, don't think about anything, don't put effort into anything except the barest of essentials for you. So the cards I'm using are the Connolly Tarot and Witch's Wisdom Oracle. Connolly Tarot is created by Eileen Connolly and illustrated by her son Peter Paul Connolly. And Witch's Wisdom is created by Barbara Michael John Free and Flavie Kate Peters, illustrated by Richard Crooks. I'm going to use the Witch's Wisdom to clarify at the end of the reading. So as I begin to shuffle, I want to evoke the energies of the elements of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. I greet the guardians and directions of the north, east, south, and west. I welcome the divine and all our allies, our guardians, spirit guides, angels, and loved ones in spirit, to be with us, guide us, direct us with love, illumination, wisdom, for our highest path in love, and for our highest good, the highest good of all, so may it be. Yeah, wow. Being an empath and an energy healer, I'm feeling a lot of like downtime for you right now as I'm shuffling. But it's good. Use it for the good. Use it from a positive perspective, as opposed to, oh my God, that was a horrible time I just went through, or a difficult time, challenging time, exhausting time. Like taxing is the energy I feel. It's a very taxing time. Just got a lot of work done and you feel not so much depleted, but hollowed out, and so you feel kind of loosey-goosey. But it can have negative connotations to the energy. So my feeling would be to see it as a positive thing, that it's a time for you to recuperate and rest. These cards are ready. I'm going to cut the deck. At the bottom of the deck we have the Chariot. Full octane energy, the underlying. So this is what you've just gone through. And this is for future love partners, but couples, don't run away yet. You can apply this reading to yourself if you are coupled. I'm going to shut off the heater now. Sorry for all that noise. I didn't even think to shut it off. So underlying energy being that of the Chariot, number 7. So couples, remember that this can be for you too. Just apply, you know, take what applies and leave what doesn't, okay? It could be new energy of love coming into your current relationship. But I read this as for singles, okay? Your future love partner, okay? And for the sign of Aries, this person at the time of your meeting could just be their current energy or overall energy. Depends. You'll be able to tell soon and right away, like within a few minutes, hours, days, months, weeks, whatever. In the initial stages of your connection with this person, you're going to become aware of the fact that they have had to build defenses or create boundaries for themselves due to, you know, the various reasons that we need to create boundaries for ourselves. My feeling is this person is creating boundaries for themselves, not because of other people, but they're becoming self-disciplined is what I'm getting. But it's boundaries. It's a little bit more significant than, say, oh, I'm going to stop biting my nails. It's more like where they sabotage themselves or where they have their own toxic behavior or addiction but nothing huge, like nothing highly dysfunctional, but more to them, they're very conscientious is what I'm getting from this card, Seven of Wands. They're very conscientious, and so they're doing that inner work, and they're creating boundaries within themselves, for themselves, in order not to self-sabotage, okay? So they're very conscientious. Some of you might find people who are still a little bit on the defensive due to a past hurt, but they're not letting it seep into their lives, and therein lies that self-discipline. They're not allowing the negative energy, and they know that, like, in other words, they're closely examining and looking at and dealing with what triggers them, and doing very well with it, okay? But that's where they're at when you meet them. And how you meet is through messaging, the Eight of Wands. So it might be a lot of activity surrounding this person, like a function is what I'm getting. A busy, like a school, gymnasium, cafeteria type of, not chaotic or tumultuous, but I can't think of the word, but like a crowded space, you know, and thus maybe that's why they have the boundaries. And I keep seeing like a meeting place, like almost like similar to like a support group of any kind, you know, like what might come to mind is a 12-step program, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that for everybody. And like I said, even if these control issues or things they have to deal with are significant, they have them well in hand. So it's not like you're walking into like a shit show. It's not like that. They're a conscientious person. They're working on themselves. I see a lot of activity around the two of you when you meet, or that's what's currently going on if you're coupled. Aww. See? Your first impression of them is the Three of Cups. So it is celebratory. And this also does depict, I'm sorry, it keeps coming up, but this does depict sometimes over drinking or over celebrating. So this might be what they're keeping in check. And it doesn't have to mean any particular addiction. And I certainly don't demonize addictions. Not on this channel. I don't normalize abuse, like deliberate intentional harm. But I most certainly don't demonize a person suffering with addiction problems. Okay? I hope you understand the difference of what I'm... the way I'm conveying it. Okay. So it doesn't have to be a specific, tangible addiction or self-sabotage type of thing that they do. And we all have our stuff that we do. Everybody. This could just be where they overindulge in anything at all. And it doesn't have to be to the extent that it's a problem that they need a significant amount for, but it is something they need to be aware of, and you're aware of them in this setting and in this group dynamic I keep picking up. So you might meet each other at some kind of group event of any kind, self-help or otherwise, but you both have that kind of common denominator where you both understand you have this in common, that you're conscientious and you look at your inner demon, so-called, you know, or your quirks, your flaws, your whatever you want to call it, to what degree it is for you as an individual, okay? There's no judgment here. There's no judgment. That's my point. And you could have met at a party as well for some of you, or are going to. Celebration. It could be a wedding. You know, any type of that type of celebratory group event, or where there's a lot of kinetic energy. You know what I mean? A dance, a function of some kind. A place where lots of people are talking at the same time, like a just a gathering, you know, where people are just kind of schmoozing and eating and talking up a storm and drinking or whatever. Alcohol or non-alcohol isn't the point. Okay, that is your first impression of them. Okay, and is that it's in an environment of being overindulging, but it's fun. They're conscientious though, and so are you. Okay, their effect on you is mindfulness, is deep mindfulness, is waiting, patience, being in the present moment. The Hanged Man, number 12, with the cherub there. So it's like you feel God's presence in this process, and yet you feel fully intact as a human being as well. So this is a depiction of what should be recognized as Odin, the god who hung himself on the tree and sacrificed the vision of one eye in order to see within, and yet still has another eye to see the physical world. So it's that conscientiousness that you both share, and you're both engaged in this process, and it's really beautiful, and it's spiritual. It's like you're grounded. So it's like as above, so below, yes, but it's more like accepting your divinity and your humanity at the same time. It's really beautiful. It really does remind me of the beauty of certain types of support programs that get you in touch with your divinity and your humanity. So there's grace, there's flaws, and there's grace, and there's the beauty within, and that type of thing, and seeing the beauty in your flaws, and it all kind of comes together in a more harmonious amalgam of opposites, okay? And that's what you're seeing. It's like I just keep seeing that beautiful prayers of the different support groups and self-help books, but not navel-gazing. It's like you engage in life, and this is just part of it. It's not like and there's no stigmatism intact. There might be. You might be used to experiencing in the past people being stigmatized for certain things, and that's what you've come out of, and that's where you appreciate each other. You don't stigmatize yourselves, or you're learning how not to, okay? The overall effect that person has on you is that. And the nature of the relationship itself is one of divine judgment. So it's like you really are learning to walk in grace, in the grace of spirit, the grace of God. Forgiveness, decisions, accepting and owning your decisions in life, your choices. But it's divinely appointed here. There's already 2 major arcana here. Dealing with a lot of passion energy, a lot of structure, boundaries, passion. It's both. It's structured. The passion is structured, and it's natural and whimsical and free as well. You celebrate it. You're learning how, I keep getting that you're learning how to celebrate life on the everyday, more mundane level, and making much ado of the mundane things of life, celebrating those things, because you've both come to learn, or at least you have, Leo, you've come to learn what is most precious in life, and it is within the ordinary. You feel, it's almost like you're striving to be ordinary, and relishing how wonderful and extraordinary that feels. So it's very enlightening, very Eckhart Tolle, too. I love it. It feels wonderful. I would say you guys are highly evolved. And you may or may not give yourself credit for being as highly evolved as you are, but you are. That's the energy I'm feeling. You're wonderful people. You're doing good. You're doing the best you can. And you're loving every minute of it. And it's just, it's beautiful. The crucible of your relationship is the Seven of Swords. Now, by crucible, I mean this is the area in your relationship once and when it's established that your shit comes up. Or as they say in A Course in Miracles, another reader says this on YouTube, and it stuck with me. The crucible to me is the cauldron, okay? But when it's the crucible, it comes up, it heats, it's like God lighting or spirit lighting a fire under you, and all the dross comes up to the top of the pure gold, and you skim it off. So this is the stuff that comes up in the relationship when it's established, up from you, and within them. But mainly you, Leo, because this is your reading. You'll feel this more, even though it could pertain to the two of you. The stuff that comes up for you has to do with the Seven of Swords. This is your thoughts. If you could see the guy playing the harp, he's like, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Whatever. It's an attitude, and sometimes kind of a too laissez-faire type of attitude of cutting your losses. Okay, and then you've got the other guy who's just, you know, on the pipes there, just playing his music and kind of maybe in denial. You see what I'm saying? One's in denial and one feels kind of cynical. It's like one says, I don't want to deal with the pain. I just want to have fun and be happy. The other one is, life sucks. I'm cynical. I'm just going to lay here and go just whatever. Okay, so they're extremes, right? You can see the opposites. Grace is when you cut your losses. So if you go in those two extremes, you could feel like there's the sword of Damocles hanging over your head and theirs, but you're going to get double dose. And for each extreme, each time you go into either extreme, you'll get a sword clunking down on your head. In other words, heaven will be forced to give you an epiphany, an attitude check type of thing. That's if you're in the extremes of these energies. In the middle, the flip side of the coin, the beautiful grace in the middle is you're present and you have your feelings, and there's no perfect way or formulaic way of doing this. You're going to hit both extremes. You're going to get clunked over the head by heaven. You're going to be forced to have epiphanies because you're being either too cynical or in denial or too frivolous. You know what I mean? Or you're going to be like, you know, I know how I can be either way, and I'm okay with that. I accept the grace that Spirit gives me in order to accept my human extreme ways of dealing with things because I'm human. And I'm meeting somewhere in the middle and trying to find the grace to cut my losses graciously and give and extend the grace to yourself personally is what I'm getting. There's a lot of maybe self-judgment in that card is what I feel from it. But this is what will come up as the relationship establishes itself, because it's where you need to grow. It's where love wants to heal things, or love, in the Course in Miracles, love brings up anything unlike itself to heal. So that's that. So it would be in those areas. The end result of the relationship is the Queen of Swords. Some of you singles are coming out of a relationship. Females. Or you're divorcing a female. Okay? So some of you are coming out and saying, I cut my losses and I ended up cutting the whole relationship out. You're coming out of that. And that was the end result. But you came with it carrying the Ace of Swords. The sword. You've learned and taken all of your spiritual bumps in the relationship with this card, and now you come out with the big one. And you're like, lots of lessons learned. And you came out of it intact. In other words, more integrated. You came out with integrity. In order to maintain your integrity, you had to, for some of you. But for some of you, the relationship itself was a crucible for you to come out of the relationship eventually as you with this discernment. But look at the butterfly on the sword. See? What do they call that? Occam's razor? I think. That's what it made me think of. Look how that sword should be pretty damn sharp, and the butterfly is sitting on it. It's not getting cut or wounded or anything. See? So it's like you mastered it. Through this relationship, you did. And many of you will come to self-mastery within the beautiful relationship that you're about to go into, because it's transformative. The butterfly is just going to be your personal symbol of transformation. The relationship will be transformational for you personally. And you're going to really become more integrated in and of yourself. That's the result of the relationship. The overall effect of the relationship on you personally is that of healing the past and reclaiming your inner child and a sense of innocence. How beautiful. That's how it's going to feel. And yet within, you're going to feel this very strong Queen of Swords, whether you are male or female. And for some, like I said before, it will be divorce or something along those lines, but it's good. It's preparing you for the next relationship. So this Six of Cups, the overall effect is a return to innocence, purity, sweet and sometimes bittersweet nostalgia, but it's healing as it happens. And what you learn from the relationship itself is to count your blessings when they are in front of you and not when it's too late. That's what you're going to learn. And that's what, for some of you coming out of a relationship, that's what it taught you. Count your blessings when they're right in front of you and not after they're gone when it's too late. But you're going to be given this strength eventually, Leo. Once you've processed all of this and you've come upon this initiative part of the relationship, you're going to get back into the Chariot again and you're going to go, go, go. But in the meantime, you're processing, and it's a transformational process. Absolutely. Not taking back my words. I feel it with absolute certainty. So there. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's really beautiful and spiritual, and it might have been tough and painful. It might still be in processing it. You might feel that, but I don't see the pain getting in your way. I did at one point, when I was first shuffling your cards, the Eight of Swords fell out. So I feel like maybe where you felt stuck, even though you knew you weren't, it just felt like everything was slowing you down, and you had to wait it out. You had to wait out this storm. You had to wait for like the snow to melt. It's like, when do I get moving again? And it's beautiful, countered by that Chariot energy, because once this is all processed and you truly have taken a true accounting of your blessings, you're going to feel wonderful again. You really are. And with a new love. New aspect of love in a current relationship, or a brand new one with someone who is like, man, are they aligned with you. Aligned with you spiritually. And they know your process because they went through it too. And it's like, that almost cements and seals the deal. It's like, you know, there are certain experiences that you have in common with people that really bond you together. It's like, you know, you're not going to have the same quality relationship with another who has not shared the same experiences as you. And you've kind of made that into a standard, and good for you. Because, you know, not everyone has to do that. But some of us really require that. It's like, I really need someone who understands where I'm coming from, because I don't want to spend the rest of my life explaining myself to somebody, you know, and that's what you've gotten. That's what you've gotten, Leo, in this new love, and that's what you're getting coming out of an old relationship or within an existing one. And the card you get is fulfillment. The chalice, the Holy Grail, the spiritual. I told you it was like all spiritual and all about love and all about those thoughts getting healed and having discernment. And that Judgment card, it's like, ugh. And look at the opposite, seemingly opposite. The Watchtower of the North is the essence and the embodiment of winter. Okay? So I call it Winterfell. So there's a lot of integrity and honor. You developed a new honor code. within yourself that makes you feel like this. You still feel both. It's like this is in your rearview mirror. You can still see it, but you know and you feel that it's in your past. But you can just feel maybe the mental thought, residual energy, but you need to see it and you want to. It's like, but you're not dwelling on it to where it's pulling you down. It's like you see both at once. Like I said before, it's like you have both at once. The grounding and the spiritual connection. The extremes, but they're in their proper perspective right next to each other. It's really beautiful. You're getting a balanced perspective. I hope you enjoyed your reading because I sure did. Wish I were a Leo right now because it feels so healing. It's really beautiful. Well, congratulations. And I'm very happy for you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful end of January and month of February. If you would like to connect with me for a personal reading, the links are in the drop-down box below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to get notified of new videos. Check out my video library and see whatever resonates for you. Ignore the dates. They're timeless. And that's about it. So until we meet again, Leo, from my soul to yours, much, much love and brightest blessings. Take care. Bye-bye.